In the year 2001, 7 Dickinson men strove to be leaders and fill a perceived void on campus. These fathers worked tirelessly to combine the ideals of selfless leadership and commitment to community and others in creating the Order of Scroll and Key. Through valiant effort and unwavering determination, the fathers overcame great obstacles to establish the Order. Over the years, the Order of Scroll and Key evolved into a strong organization with a recognizable presence and purpose on campus. We work with the ideals of the society and the values of Dickinson to better ourselves and those around us. Through mentoring, community service, philanthropy, and modeling moral behavior, the Order of Scroll and Key combines the unique leadership talents of 7 strong senior men. Each with their distinctive perspectives, they impact each other and their peers. This is the hope. The gray hat was adopted to serve as a symbol to the Dickinson community of the character and leadership of these men. To this end, Brothers of the Scroll and Key must be ever vigilant in their values and convictions. We tap the men who stand before you, as well as those abroad, with the expectation that they will continue to add to this dignified legacy, that they will accomplish so much more together than they ever could apart. We are honored for the opportunity to call them brothers.
Good evening. As community members of Dickinson College in the greater Carlisle area, we challenge ourselves to see beyond our Dickinson bubble and make a positive impact in recognition of the opportunity we are all given. As Dickinson students, we are blessed to live in an environment where we are constantly challenged both in the classroom and out of it. In recognition of the vast opportunities afforded at Dickinson College, we hope that our privileges will not be taken for granted, but used to influence those around us. May we not be too proud to step out of our comfort zones, or too humble to not share our aspirations to make a difference in our community, regardless of how popular or unpopular those views may be. As a campus full of leaders, let us never pass up on the chance to make someone's day and demonstrate our concern for others as people and members of the same community, keeping in mind that the measure of a leader is not determined by a single act, but their lasting legacy forged and thanklessly seeking to make a difference. On behalf of the Scroll and Key, and as members of the Dickinson College community, we would like to thank Dean Joyce Bylander for her contribution to the Order, for which we are forever grateful, and her presence as an approachable faculty member, willing to lend a supportive ear and offer thoughtful, sound advice. Additionally, we would like to thank her for being an enthusiastic, caring, and inspiring mentor for all those who come in contact with her. Dean Bylander epitomizes class, and as an Order, we strive to be an organization she would be proud of. Thank you.
Each year, the current class of gray hats has the option and the right to bring forth an honorary member outside its rising senior class. These are individuals that personify the spirit of the organization and that embody the characteristics of true and selfless leadership. It's an interesting contrast, the spirit of the organization and the embodiment of true and selfless leadership. As one begins to leave Dickinson, there is a realization that one is leaving something behind. Legacy. The legacy of the individuals, the spirit of the individuals, is what is left behind. And even though we may no longer physically be present at an institution or within a community, there is still this desire for us to be here in spirit. And in fact, that is the highest ideal of any true leader. That long after we are gone, the conviction and the purpose of our message lives on, endures. That the vision, the legacy remain. Ladies and gentlemen, we were founded on this exact principle. It is the purpose and mission of the Order of Scroll Key to ensure that the legacies, the lasting spirits of true and selfless leaders in all their forms remain permanent fixtures and are ingrained into the character and culture of Dickinson society. We ensure the lasting spirits of true and selfless leaders. Excuse me. That even though gentlemen may move on past these walls, their spirit still lives. That even though their body is not here, their spirit is still here. Their spirit remains, and it's for this reason that we have the honor and will continue to honor the bringing forth of Nathaniel Nate Kirkland as our honorary member into the Order of Scroll Key. Professor Justin Marquis, will you accept this hat on Nate's behalf?
To add beyond what Stephen already said. I think this hat is the perfect symbol of who Nate Kirkland was and will always be to this community. And as such, I've approached Pat Pillman, and we've carved out a place in Bosler Hall down in the multimedia editing studio where this hat will be displayed in a case. So anybody who's working on films and movies in this hall will be able to have this as inspiration. So I thank you, gentlemen, for honoring Nate. It's very, very, very much appreciated. Thank you.
Welcome friends, family, administrators, professors, and fellow Scrollmen. I'd like to welcome you all to the 2009 Order of Scroll Key tapping ceremony. We gather here to honor 7 rising senior men who have distinguished themselves as truly selfless leaders. Leadership comes in many forms. In the face of adversity, a leader will stand up for what is right. He'll look into the eyes of injustice, and rather than hesitate, he will act. A leader will inspire others to fight for the cause and never in self-interest. Leaders accept responsibility, not for notoriety, but for the greater good. A selfless leader views his responsibilities as a promise to those who will benefit from his actions, knowing that should he fail, they will suffer most. Therefore, a truly selfless leader will put his responsibilities over all things petty. For failure in the service of others cannot be an option. Leaders, however, are not always found at the front of the pack. A truly selfless leader understands when he will best serve the cause by stepping aside and allows others to take charge. Leaders are not always in the limelight, for the tallest lighthouse is only as strong as its foundation. Leadership is not about compromising for convenience. It is easy for many to choose the low road because it is smooth and without difficulty. However, the path of least resistance often yields the least results. Before you stand not 7 or 6, or even 4 men, but 3. The lowest amount of on-campus inductees in Scroll Key history. We must remember the great things that are being done not only for Dickinson and Carlisle, but the global community as a whole. The services being provided for the citizens of England, Italy, and Australia are no less important than those you see in our own towns and cities. We choose not to sacrifice the quality of our membership for the convenience of on-campus initiates. In this time of national crisis, leadership cannot be compromised for convenience. Our society demands that we bring forth only those who are truly dedicated to serving the common good. In the midst of 2 wars and an economic recession, we as leaders must fulfill our duty to serve our communities. We cannot afford to have leaders who will fall in the face of adversity. The words of Cato the Younger echo today, esse quam videre, to be rather than seem. Today, our society truly needs leaders to be rather than seem. In our nation's time of need, selfless leadership is what we require, what we demand, and what we must provide for the common good. Thus, I offer you men praise for what you have done, but also a challenge. In your future endeavors, do great things, but do them well. Accepting this challenge in the name of the Order of Scroll and Key, for the class of 2010, I present to you Simon Dosovitz, Slazy Citrana, Robert Snitchler, Dwight Dunstan, Courtney Laidlaw, David Munn, and James Van Meerbeck. Electus in cantum a disciplina arcaeus tena membres et duis. Mr. Stephen Harney, who do you bring forth for membership in the Order of Scroll and Key?
Bring forth Mr. Dwight Dunstan for membership to the Order of Scroll and Key.
Mr. Shaka Tafari, who do you bring forth for membership in the Order of Scroll and Key?
I bring forth Mr. Courtney Laidlaw for membership in the Order of Scroll and Key.
Mr. Andrew Soderberg Rifkin, who do you bring forth for membership into the Order of Scroll and Key?
I bring forth Slazy Citrana for membership in the Order of Scroll and Key.
Mr. Suraj Hashmi, who do you bring forth for membership into the Order of Scroll and Key?
I bring forth Mr. Simon Dawson for membership in the Order of Scroll and Key.
Mr. Samuel Asherman, who do you bring forth for membership into the Order of Scroll and Key?
I bring forth Mr. Robert Snitchler for membership in the Order of the Scroll and Key.
Mr. Timothy Crouch, who do you bring forth for membership into the Order of Scroll and Key?
I bring forth Mr. David Munn for membership in the Order of Scroll and Key. Mr. Gregory Sunshine, who do you bring forth for membership in the Order of Scroll and Key?
I bring forth Mr. James Van Meerbeck for membership into the Order of Scroll and Key. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope you really enjoyed the ceremony. Please feel free to greet our donation wishes and wish them well in their future endeavors here at Dickinson College and beyond.